Oh, dear Lord, we did it. What are we doing now? Oh, we're going to do...
Mononoke.
Okay, so this is...
1997, PG-13. It actually was not released in America until 1999.
Yeah, 2 years after The Matrix. Yeah.
Are you recording?
Yeah, but I mean, we're not going to use that.
I'm Jason.
And I'm Jules. And we doing Filmographies. And we're still deep in the throes of Crudup fever.
Yes.
This is episode number 5.
Correct. Princess Mononoke.
Yeah. Good movie. Odd. It's the odd duck out, I think. So, thus far.
In what way?
Well, in that it's not really... He's just doing a voiceover. The movie is in no way informed by his performance.
Correct.
He is performing in a way that it fits within the parameters of the animated lip movements.
But he's also doing the fucking anime voice.
He is. At first I was like, is that him?
He's talking like this, and I don't...
Not even at first. Throughout the entire performance. He is very much doing Akira, Dragon Ball Z style. What is the name of the deer that he rides? I forget.
Oh, I knew it last night. Is it Yuba?
Achiba or something. He's like, Achiba!
No, it's Yuba or Yuka, something like that.
Yuba or Yuka or something like that.
How did he end up doing that voice? Why is that?
I don't know.
Did the Miyazaki crew, were they like, no, don't Americanize this whatsoever. Do the anime voice.
Like, first off,
the dub voice.
Because Billy Bob Thornton is and Jada Pinkett Smith are kind of doing it, but you can tell it's them. And I think for Billy Bob, it's just him trying to get his lines out to fit the dub.
Sure.
You know, there's dragons over there. Don't go over there. And it's not the actual lines, of course.
Because there are 0 dragons. So.
Because I'm like, why did they hire Billy Crudup for this? I mean, why did they hire anybody in this movie for this, to be honest? But for him especially, because it's like, if we're looking at his filmography, which we've been doing.
That's what we've been doing, yeah.
It's not what we're about, but it's what we'd be doing.
Mm-hmm.
The 4 movies leading up to this, I don't get any strong inclination as to why, unless it was like, his name is sort of there, and
he's got a good voice.
He does. He's really doing a Voltron thing in here, and it's, I mean, it is what it is. So it's a Miyazaki film.
It came out over there in 97.
It did.
And here in 99.
In fact, it was, the highest grossing movie of the year.
It was huge,
in Japan, until Titanic came out.
Okay.
Which was like the same year. So it was only on the top for a little bit.
It's peculiar this movie would be such a big hit. I think all of his movies are very well regarded.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's hard to really equate him to anything that we would be familiar with.
Sure.
You know, because it's strictly animation. But I mean, for the most part, yeah, he's like a Steven Spielberg.
Yeah. And having recently watched My Neighbor Totoro, and I think I saw this. I have not been able to figure out if I saw this or a different movie back around the time it came out.
I definitely saw it when it came out. It did get a minor theatrical release as well.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to go wider, but it didn't.
Right, because apparently Miyazaki said you can't edit this film, because Weinstein, I think, got the rights to the American release through a distribution deal with Disney.
He wanted to chop it up?
Yeah, he did.
That was his thing.
He said it's too long. Americans, no.
It is a bit long.
And obviously this is before the 2.5, 3 hour long blockbuster.
Yeah, this whole thing
that we're living with now. But so Miyazaki said you can't do it. So Disney said, all right, then we'll just limit the theater run numbers out of spite, I guess. I don't really understand why you would sabotage the movie, but apparently that's what happened.
I think that happens a lot. All right, let's do synopses. On a journey to find the cure for a Tetragami's curse, Ashitaka finds himself in the middle of a war between the forest gods and Tatara, a mining colony. In his quest, he also meets San, the Mononoke Heim.
Yeah, very little of that makes sense. Now, I forgot what I was going to say. I guess that's the end of the podcast.
All right, next week.
Now, I did enjoy this movie. I enjoyed it when it first came out, and I enjoyed it again now. It very much is a Miyazaki movie. The animation, the backgrounds are all very well done. It's kind of hitting you over the head with like its nature and sort of natural themes.
Industrialization is bad.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, they're not wrong.
No, they're not. And it's a very simple story, really. I mean, this guy is like a prince or something. Billy Crudup's.
Yeah, I guess of his very small community.
Which, as rumor or lore has it, was vanished hundreds of years prior.
Somebody wiped out a large amount of them, right?
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's like, I heard of a clan that wears a thing like you wear and rides a red deer, but they've been dead for 500 years or some shit, I guess. So a big fucking squiggly pig.
I mean, it looks like a spider from hell, and it moves like a spider from hell.
Yeah.
That bursts on the scene, and Billy Crudup and his dad, his friend,
some guy,
an elder of the community, they're up on a
watchtower,
a hunting watchtower.
Yeah, I mean,
and they see this thing coming, and they try to chase it back to the forest, reason with it.
Yeah, Billy Crudup runs alongside it, and he's like, "Hey, man, go away! You know, we don't want any trouble."
And then he ends up leading it right to their village, I believe.
Effectively, he hits it with an arrow, and it gets pissed. And I think at that point it latches onto him.
Gets his arm real good.
His right arm.
And it's about to get some villagers, right? And he shoots it right in the fucking head.
Yeah.
And that's a death blow, right?
Yeah, and I think you fucking humans or some shit. It says.
Yeah, the squiggles disappear. The spiderness drops away and reveals it's a large boar who has gone mad with rage.
Yeah.
And delivers a terrifying monologue to them, and then melts into the ground. Quite gorily, blood gushing from its mouth, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
It's surprisingly horrifying.
Yeah, and then in his arm is marked.
Yeah, he's got the curse marks on his arm.
He does. He gives him the squiggly arm.
Yep. He goes to the village elders. They're like, dude, I'm sorry.
Yep.
You're going to die. We have to excommunicate you now. You must leave.
You might be able to find a spirit god, and they'll take care of that for you, clear it up.
Probably won't happen, but that's what you can do. Now, none of us can look at you while you walk away.
Wear your hat and your straw cape and get the fuck out of here.
When he had to cut off his top knot. He couldn't have long hair anymore.
Yeah, boy.
So he goes off to try to find out where this boar came from, what drove it crazy with rage, and I assumed to put an end to whatever evil is happening.
Yeah.
It seems that is not the case, because this movie, there's some things I do not like about this movie. I found that opening pretty scary. I thought the spider creature running around was terrifying. Yeah. The melting was super creepy. And then he goes on his journey and immediately comes across like evil samurais killing people in a field.
Yeah, he goes, oh, it's a battle. No, it's a massacre. And then we see a guy's arm get chopped off and shit.
I did not expect the violence for this movie. It was awesome. Yeah. That fucking arm coming.
He gets that squiggly arm and he shoots his arrow and it pops a guy's fucking melon off.
And their arms are flying off left and right. Heads popping off.
Yeah.
The arm is powered by rage, but every time it's used, it spreads a little bit more. And God, what does he do? He goes through there, he
stops at a village,
gets some food.
He gets some rice.
Rice to pay with pure gold. The lady's like, what the fuck is this?
You don't want any shit.
And then Billy Bob Thornton waddles over and he's like, oh, that's pure gold. If you don't want that, I'll take it.
Yeah, and he's like, this is worth 3 bags of rice. I tell you what, I'll buy his rice and I'll take this gold off your hands. It's like, dude, don't announce its fucking value.
Well, and then they march off. And Billy Bob Thornton tries to be part of his team. People follow them out of the village and they're like, oh, they're going to cut our throats while we sleep. Yeah,
for a second there, I thought he was going to be like his Friar Tuck.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they're teaming up.
You know,
they go to the forest. They have some discussions. When Billy Bob Thornton wakes up in the morning, Billy Crudup, Ashitoko, is gone.
Yeah, he was washing his clothes. He put it on the radiator, and he wakes up and Ashitoko is gone.
And
although it is foreboding because he's like, I'll see you later or something to Ashitaka when he's pretending like he's sleeping.
Yeah.
He sees Ashitaka leaving. He goes, oh, off to find the dude or whatever. I'll see you there.
And this is the next stop. Does he make it to Irontown? Is that...
No, so then we jump to Lady... What is her name? Lady something.
Minnie Driver, right?
Minnie Driver.
Minnie Driver reunited with Billy Crudup.
At first, I thought that was
Claire Danes?
Gillian Anderson.
Oh, really?
I was like, because she's doing a lot of British TV now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's American.
Yes.
So it's like she's doing a British accent, I assume. So I'm like, oh, she's doing that even back then? Lady Ashogi or something?
Okay.
So they're pulling ox with supplies going back to Iron Town.
Yeah, up a mountain pass with rice?
Yeah.
Something.
But
it's like a lot of them. This is clearly, this is where the humans are.
Mm-hmm. Right. And the forest is, all burned down and mountainous because they need to get to the iron. So they're making their way. We got a bunch of soldiers, peasants, I guess, oxen, and the two wolf pups up here with Princess Mononoke.
But she looks like a little toy on top of the wolf.
She does, because the animals are large.
They're huge
in this.
Especially the mother. The mother wolf is like 3 times the size of the other wolves. I think she's riding the mother wolf, right?
Yeah. Now, interesting, the American script was written by Neil Gaiman.
Mm-hmm.
And he truncated... They really glossed over a lot of the Japanese lore.
Yeah, isn't it? I mean... But it's really dense. Like, we wouldn't have been able to...
Yeah, like if you would have turned on the subtitles and matched them to the English dub, you would have been like watching 2 different movies. So the wolves appear. They're attacking.
They're the people of Irontown are firing their rifles, their powerful rifles at the wolves. They are pretty impressive.
And they're missing the wolves left and right. The wolves are throwing dudes off the cliff and shit.
Chomping them.
And then the mama... 2-tail wolf appears. Naga?
Oh my god, I didn't even know she had 2 tails. She's got 2 tails?
Yeah.
How did I not notice that?
That's a kitsune kind of thing.
Okay.
Look it up. And she's like, I'm going to kill you. And then Lady something is a shogi? I don't know. Yeah. She busts out her gun. And she shoots the mama wolf like in the shoulder or something. And it falls off the cliff.
You think it's dead?
You do.
You're like, oh man, you lost a wolf already.
Yeah, that's wolf ain't shit. And then the Mononoke and the other wolves go running after her or whatever. And they're like, should we go get the men? And she's like, they're dead. Because they fell off the cliff.
Yeah.
So then we jump back to Ishitaka? Is that his name?
Ashitoko?
Ishitaka, I think is his name.
I think it's odd.
And he's walking along a river and he starts seeing oxen and shit flowing down.
Bodies.
And he sees a guy. Yeah, this guy's still alive. Pulls him out. There's another guy who's still alive. Pulls him out. And this is where we're introduced. I don't remember this character's name, but he's a square-headed, loudmouth idiot.
Yeah.
But God bless him.
Okay. The comic relief.
He's very much the Jar Jar Binks. So he puts him on the deer, and he carries the other guy in his back, and he's like, I'll get you to where you're going. And they start seeing these little rattlehead.
Yeah, I like those guys.
I don't remember what they call them.
Spirit.
I wish I would have actually taken the time to write down any of them.
You would have spelled them wrong and pronounced them wrong.
They're little white Casper-looking motherfuckers.
They're creepy, but yeah.
Butts, their little butts.
Their heads rotate and shake.
Yeah, they like wind their head up, slightly cock it to the side, and then let it go, and it shakes and rattles.
And they kind of lead them through the forest.
Yeah, the guy's like, oh, these forest spirits are going to kill us.
Don't follow them. Yeah, we're going to follow them.
Yeah, and then they're, carrying each other on their backs, mimicking Ashitaka, and it's all fun.
And Ashitaka sees through a tree that's not really there. Is it a clearing?
Yeah, it's a bit of a clearing.
He sees the great forest spirit.
Yeah, a prong antler deer thing.
Mm-hmm. It looks headless, but you'll see its face later.
Yes. And then he's like, his arm starts to shake and get wiggly. And the guy's like, oh, sir, are you okay? And he's like, I'm fine. You didn't see that? And he goes, no. And he's like, all right. Fuck it, whatever.
Let's move on.
Let's keep going.
And then he eventually spots Princess Mononoke.
When he's fishing them out of the water, he sees her. The wolf is injured. Mononoke's sucking out
the blood out. She's got a bloody face.
For some reason.
I don't know why. Yeah, I thought about that. There's no poison involved.
No.
It's just a thing you do.
Yeah, they notice him. Claire Danes, she's like, leave. And they go away. And one of the wolves grabs one of the oxen and drags it.
I liked that part.
That was really funny.
I was like, too. Yeah, of course. Eat it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Free food.
Yeah, right. So eventually they make it through the forest. They get to Irontown or whatever it's called.
People are wary of him shooting up.
They're like, hey, what's going on over there? And they go, oh, that guy, he's alive.
He saved us. He saved us.
Who's this stranger? And Joe DiMaggio plays like the number 2.
John DiMaggio.
And then John DiMaggio plays the... Is it John?
Even his name? Because Joe DiMaggio is the baseball player.
Joe DiMaggio, right. He is the
John DiMaggio is Bender, right?
Yeah. I got Joe in my notes. Like a fucking idiot. But then we're also introduced to Jada Pinkett Smith's character, who's a lady. And DiMaggio was like, hey, stranger, you hold on. I don't... What? And then Minnie Driver's like, hey, man, it's cool.
Let's show the stranger how things work around here.
Stop by my cabin later.
Come meet all the women that work here.
Yeah, I'm going to divulge all of my secrets.
Yeah, basically everything.
So, some of the women are ex-whores, ex-prostitutes that are now living in this Iron Town, and they seem to have they're the backbone of the town.
It seems like the town's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that definitely doesn't turn out to be the case, but the community's good. The people take care of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Their moves are shitty and awful.
Yeah.
They are the scum of the movie.
Yeah, we discover that the town was floundering until Lady Driver shows up and has guns and kills boars and clears the forest, burns it down.
Yep. Thinking that the ore underneath the mountains.
Apparently, the boar that we saw at the beginning is the boar that she killed.
She shot it while they were burning down the forest.
It went mad and
crazy, yeah.
Buggered off. And in fact, she takes a pot shot at these shadowy figures, which very much are shadowy figures, although they call them apes. And then later in the movie when we see them, are they apes?
They do appear to be apes. I liked them much more when they were the shadows with the red eyes.
Yeah, like...
I thought that was great.
Yeah, their mouths are
appeared to be gorillas later.
But it's like they're just sort of talking.
That's the man.
Yeah, it's very stereotypical and borderline racist. I'm just... so they're like... So she's basically like, hey, I'm making guns to rid the forest of these creatures so that we can mine the ore.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, she's using lepers.
Yeah, I never understood what's up with the lepers. And I was also wondering, how is leprosy spread? Is it like wound-to-wound contact? Because, boy, they sure are just hanging out with those bandaged, armless people.
Yeah, and she's touching the guns.
Yeah.
But also, she's like, they're not light enough for the girls. And I'm thinking, like, why is she hell-bent on weaponizing the women only? Is there going to be some sort of...
It's part of the town. I mean, that's...
Because the men go to fight.
Right, but I mean, if you utilize the rest of your workworce, you got.
Oh, I get that, but shouldn't the guns be good for everybody?
Oh, sure, yeah.
I mean, that would be
the argument.
Like, is she gonna get rid of the men or something? Like, is there gonna be some? There's nothing to that. So basically, she welcomes Ashitaka in, and then all of a sudden, Mononoke stages a raid. She flies into the camp.
Which is amazing. This sequence
is fucking dope.
It's hot, bro. When she's running across the roof.
Her little feet.
Yeah.
Doing that little
fast.
Crouch fast. Naruto running. She runs like Naruto. If you know what Naruto is.
Everybody knows that run, right?
She's doing it. And
it's great. It's an intense battle, and she's there to kill Minnie Driver's character, the lady running the town.
Yeah, she's got like a little blade. I mean, but she's just fucking doing it. And Ashitaka is like, hey, y'all need to stop fighting for some reason. He's a fucking drip.
He is. He stinks. But I mean, Mononoke was definitely about to die.
Oh, absolutely.
She's surrounded by the town.
It was a kamikaze mission.
Minnie Driver is apparently a fierce fighter.
Yeah.
Her swordsmanship was impressive.
Yeah.
So what does he do? He runs up, he stuns them both. They're both knocked out. Using his superpower arm?
So, yeah, he runs up to the roof. She gets shot, tumbles down. He rips off a piece of the roof and, like, throws it. And then now at this point, his arm is, like, glowing. worms.
Mm-hmm.
He goes down, he bends a guy's sword with no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he uses the hilt of his sword, and hits Lady Driver in the gut and knocks out Mononoke. And then he's like, you take your woman, I'm going to take the girl, and we're leaving. And one of the ladies with the gun, she's frantic. She's, no, what about, she killed my husband. And she inadvertently fires her gun. And it just pierces right through Billy Crudup.
Should have blown his guts everywhere.
It absolutely should.
It's a good shot. He's bleeding profusely. Doesn't even really flinch.
Isn't even stunned.
Fucking marches right up to the gate that takes 10 min to open. They're like, we're not going to open it.
Sir, turn around. We don't want to hurt you. It takes 10 min to open this gate. He's like, I got a squiggly arm.
Yeah. He slowly pushes it open.
Just gushing blood.
It seems like the people are going to attack him from behind.
Yep.
Nope. Marches right out. Gate slams down behind him. Gets in the forest. Passes out.
Mm-hmm.
The wolf girl wakes up next to him.
Well, no, because he's riding... He's got her in front of him on the deer. And then the two other wolves join them at this point. And he passes out and falls off. And immediately, one of the wolves bites his head.
That was...
starts gnawing on him. Like, this motherfucker. She goes, no. You know. And he's like, well, let me eat the deer. She's like, no, fuck off.
Yeah.
You know. So, yeah, she takes him to the lake in the forest.
Where the special lake where the forest spirit dwells.
Yeah, it's where he comes to crash or transform.
When he shifts between the Nightwalker and the forest spirit.
So she puts him in the water and she takes off the deer's harness and she's like, you're free.
Should have long bled out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, then she says to the deer, oh, you're smart enough to know you shouldn't step foot on this land. Which was interesting.
So, yeah, we see the Nightwalker moseying about.
Isn't it the forest spirit now?
Well, no. So the little shaky head guys, they run up to the tops of the trees.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
And they start
shaking
their head, and then the thing's slowly lumbering.
Okay.
And then it starts in the clearing where the lake is. It starts to sort of...
Goes from the giant gel creature.
And then it's a fucking frightening deer.
That face freaked me out.
Yeah. Do you remember Igor from Young Frankenstein?
Yeah.
That was like him.
Okay.
Those fucked up eyes. It's like both are looking in the opposite direction. It's just like, duh, hello?
And it marches over and it heals Billy Crudup's stomach wound, but not his
arm.
His arm.
He's still got
arm?
Yeah, he's still got to do the stranger.
Okay. So he's got that crazy arm still. He wakes up. Him and Mononoke, they have a heart-to-heart?
No, he wakes up and he feels his stomach, and he
and he's very weak.
He's startled, like he forgot his wallet. Right, the bullet wound's gone, and then he goes, "Oh, my hand's still fucked up." And then the boars come in.
Oh, sure.
And so he's just laying there the whole time. And the boars are like, we're here to kill human. What the fuck are humans?
We got two humans here, wolves. Why are you with these humans?
The tree spirit healed this guy?
But he doesn't heal our boars?
But our boy.
Yeah.
And then Keith David comes up, and he's the blind old wise boar.
Mm-hmm.
And Billy Crudup's like, I killed your friend. He gave me this arm. And he sniffs him.
He went wild.
Yeah.
And became a demon.
He goes, he did. I believe him. And I'm ashamed that my boy popped off. But if I see you again, I'm going to kill you. We're going to go kill these humans.
Because you are human.
And Mononoke's like, but you'll die. It's Claire Danes, by the way. I don't know if we mentioned that. You're going to die. And they're like, we die like men. Not boars. So pretty much at that point, I think, is when they separate. He passes out or something and she leaves. And
I feel like we skipped a lot of the movie, and I'm very pumped that happened.
Possibly.
Well, I think we skipped about 45 minutes there.
Because
no. No.
I'm not going back. I'm going forward.
No going back.
Because it very much seems like all of these loose things are happening that don't. I mean, they are contributing to the story, but ultimately it leads up to this big fight.
Mm-hmm.
Right. At some point, Lady Driver goes to fight the boar. Billy Bob Thornton is dressed like a bear.
Because he wants to get the drop on the Nightwalker.
He wants to shoot the head off of the forest spirit.
Because if you eat it, you become immortal?
Not sure, but he's got some sort of a royal decree that is like a pardon.
Oh, for killing it.
Yeah, because people know enough that they probably shouldn't kill it.
Which, yes, don't do that. It was a bad idea.
So he's running around dressed like a bear.
And fucking Billy Crudup here, Ashitoka, our hero.
Yeah.
Well, what he should be doing is killing everybody in Irontown. Or at least killing any driver. Wiping out the men, letting the women run the town. Something.
Yeah, because...
But he's like, no, just don't fight. I want to stop both sides from fighting. And Minnie Driver has made it clear that she wants all of the forest creatures dead. She doesn't... The wolves, the monkeys...
The monkeys,
the boars,
they keep trying to plant trees.
Yeah, I know, right? They're great.
Oh, they're awesome.
Keep throwing seeds.
Yeah,
wonderful. I wish we had these monkey spirits that would throw seeds for us all the time.
And then this rampaging parade of boar,
which came from far away,
and brought a lot of birds too. I don't know if you remember that. There are birds just flying everywhere.
Oh, I didn't.
I don't know if it's because they're disrupting it and the birds are like freaking, or because birds sometimes like to eat.
Bugs off
lice and shit off of like hippos and
sure.
So, we got a whole convergence going on. Billy Bob's trying to kill the deer.
Mm-hmm.
Lady Driver's trying to kill everybody. She takes her soldiers and they go and they burn trees and shit to fuck with the boar's sense of smell.
Yeah, and aren't her soldiers are like hired militia, right?
Yeah.
That eventually turn.
And she's kind of working with Billy Bob.
Yeah.
I think their interests have a mutual benefit.
Mm-hmm.
We're doing this, and while we're doing that, you can kill that thing, and we both win, right? So Billy Crudup shows up back at Irontown, and the men are gone. They're fighting, and he's like, "No, there's more guys coming. Now that you're just alone, they're already there. They're attacking them, and they're shooting guns at these salmon."
And he's like, "Just hold out, ladies of Irontown.
I'll be back. I'll get your men." And they're like, "Yes, go get Will Smith, because it's Jada
Pinkett Smith."
I'm not going to do it. So he goes off. The wolves are doing their thing, sort of too, and
Claire Danes, Princess Mononoke.
She's trying to help the boar.
She needs to be the eyes.
Because he's all fucked up. He's bleeding to high heaven at this point.
Well, okay. I mean,
damaged. She's like, She's like,
we didn't even talk about why he's damaged. The boars do their attack on the city, but there are grenades waiting for them.
Right.
So they're just exploded like the second they get into the zone. They're running up the sides of mountains and walls, and the people up there are dropping down these grenades.
Yeah.
When they kill all the fucking boars.
Yeah.
Like every single one of them, except for Keith David's massive blind boar.
Yes, to quote...
bleeding everywhere.
To quote Willem Dafoe, "It was a firefight!"
What is that from?
Boondock Saints.
Oh. Why would you help Boondock Saints?
Because that's a good line. All right. Well, anyway, so the boars are all fucked up.
Tainted the pod?
I think the monkeys are somehow involved.
The monkeys are angry.
I
think they hate the wolves. They feel like the wolves' involvement with the humans have betrayed the whole forest, and now the whole forest is going to be gone.
Sorry, they're apes, not monkeys.
Yes.
So yeah, Claire Danes is with Keith David. He's bloodied to high hell. He's like, I got to keep fighting.
And he suddenly gets swarmed by what you think are almost ghost boars based on how they move. But it is...
Well, it's Billy Bob now in boar form.
Yeah, they're wearing boar
skins. He traded up the bear skin for the boar skin. He's like, my warriors are with me.
They move like ghosts. Like eyeless ghosts. It's so creepy.
Because the skin is so big.
Yeah.
It's just draped over them.
And then Keith David, half dead, is freaking out that my soldiers have come back.
He can't see. He can smell the skin.
Yeah.
He's delusional. And she's like, no, you're going to become a snake.
Don't give in to the demon
monster thing.
And he gets all revved up and crazy. And fucking sure enough, the demon worms start pouring out of him. And here's my big question, Julian. Why on earth are the humans trying to turn the boar into a demon?
I don't know.
Why? I mean, they don't kill him. They just surround him and they poke at him a little bit. It seems like they're trying to facilitate this transformation, which makes no sense. Perhaps it's the translation. Something is lost in translation.
Oh. Now, and because Ashitaka eventually takes off his shirt, and you see that he's spread over his chestal region. So he goes to get the men. He's trying to save a wolf that's trapped under a dead boar. And they're like, what are you doing? And these hired militiamen are like, we're going to stop this. And then they get bonked on the head by the men. And they're like, go back to Irontown. Your women are in trouble. And okay, you know.
And then they lift up the dead boar and get the wolf and him out.
I was afraid that I thought I remembered his deer dying. He just gets an arrow in the butt.
Yes.
And so he's not dead, thankfully. So he frees the wolf and he's like, take me to Claire Danes. And they get there. And because she's trying to stop the boar, she gets sucked up in his chicken noodle soup.
Yep.
And she's getting worms out of her face.
She's screaming from within the worm.
I don't want to be a demon.
That is what she's saying, yeah.
Yeah.
And then while this is happening, Billy Bob is trying to kill the forest spirit.
And he gets a shot off.
Shoots it right through the fucking head.
Yeah.
Its eyes go crossed, and then it uncrosses and smiles. It's fine. You didn't hurt it at all.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
And then it... also, the timeline here doesn't make sense, because I believe it was night, and then it's daytime, and then, wait, it's time for it to turn back into the Nightwalker, and as soon as it starts to turn to the Nightwalker, they shoot its head off.
Yeah. Maybe it was like late afternoon, dusk. Eventually they lop off its noggin.
And guess what?
Stick it in a box.
That's so bad.
Yeah, they go all 7 on it.
Oh, God. Turns out that that Nightwalker, who looks like it's like this gelatinous star material.
Yeah.
It turns into a liquid flood.
Yeah.
That floods the land. And it's also...
shit.
If it touches you, you die. And you see some people trapped in it at one point. And it's also... still a headless creature reaching everywhere trying to find its head.
Yeah.
So all these people almost die.
One of the wolves bites off a lady driver's arm.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is foreshadowed.
It's just the head.
Yeah, she even says earlier in the
movie. Zooms around and chomps it right off.
You cut off a wolf's head, you kill a wolf, it'll still bite you or something, she says earlier.
That's true, yeah.
And it happens. And so she's got no arm. Billy Bob's running around with his head in the bin that's also oozing.
Yeah, I don't know what all that liquid inside the bin is.
I assume it's the Nightwalker.
Yeah, I suppose.
Goop? I don't know.
They end up getting trapped on a rock. Billy Bob, another guy, and then Ashitoko. Is Mononoke there too?
I believe so. He frees her from the worms. I think he pulls her out.
Yes.
So they're all together.
And
he's like, you gotta fucking give it its...
I don't want to give the head to her.
I got an article.
I've worked so hard to get this head.
Billy Bob, his performance is so great.
You like it?
It's stupid, but I like it.
I was really amused when I realized it was Billy Bob in like 10 seconds.
Immediately, yeah.
So they crack open the box that the head is in. What's in the box? And then Ashitoko and Princess Mononoke hold the head up together. And the forest creature reaches down and takes it, and that's when they're healed, right?
Yeah, but it's like, why didn't they die?
When the thing touched them?
When they touched the head. If the rest of it's going like, ape shit, goop.
I guess.
I don't know.
Good question.
Yeah.
Instead, they are both healed of their devil worms.
Yeah.
And then the thing falls onto Iron City.
Right.
And destroys it.
Yeah, kills everybody.
And then
right? Or are they dead?
I don't know that many people are still there. I think they've scattered once the
men came back. Okay.
Once the flood of goo came.
Okay.
And then this is the payoff for the end is by the way, the dub of this on HBO Max is so bad that the score would take over the audio several times when they were talking.
Oh, you watched just on HBO Max.
I did.
Right.
The last 5 minutes, their whole speech at the end, I couldn't really hear.
See, that's funny because I had the Blu-ray I bought Callie the Miyazaki collection for Christmas at some point. So I'm like, well, I'll just throw that bad boy in. I got a PS5. This is going to look fucking awesome. And it did. Except when it would transition from the end of the chapter to the next one, the movie would skip 5 seconds or so.
Yeah.
And like a display would come on screen alerting you that you're now in the next chapter.
Do you think that's the DVD's fault or the equipment you played it on?
It's hard to say because I couldn't find any feature in the menu, PlayStation menu, that alluded to me being able to turn that off.
Mm-hmm.
But going in, I did opt in to some online feature that's supposed to heighten your Blu-ray experience. I don't know. I mean, I probably could have just stopped it and figured it out, but I'd already seen it, so I wasn't too worried about it. But that's funny because we both had flawed experience.
Yeah, I was really shocked that the audio was so bad. It happened at another point during an exposition point where it's like the music is up so loud, I'm like, I can't hear them. I'm tilting my head. My hearing isn't great, but I'm tilting my head, and I'm like, Jenny, can you hear what they're saying? She's like, no. She watched this with me, by the way.
Oh, okay. Callie watched most of it with me.
Jenny, actually, she watched the first half hour. Then the children began waking up.
Yeah.
And then she went upstairs for about an hour.
Oh.
I just kept playing it. So she missed a lot of action. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes.
Oh, really? It felt like 90.
Really?
To me, yeah.
I did not feel that way one bit. So anyways, at the very end of it, Mononoke and Ashitoko say, all right, well, I'm going to go rebuild this town. And she's like, well, I'm going to be with the forest spirits. She's like, all right, well, I'll visit you as much as I can. And that's their love story.
Because she was somehow the wolf's daughter.
Dude, well, the wolf
captured her spirit or something.
No, the wolf, her parents
gave
the baby an offering to the wolf to eat it.
Right.
And the wolf was like, you know what? I'm not going to eat this baby. I'm going to raise it as my own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I thought was really disturbing.
Yeah. So, as I stated before, this is an odd movie in relation to our doing filmographies.
Yeah.
Because it's made completely separate from any of the American
informed. It's not informed whatsoever by him.
So it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It's that weird, because they did the same thing for Final Fantasy Spirits Within, where they get like Alec Baldwin and Steve Buscemi, and
it's like the movie that came out in theaters.
Yeah, the CGI one.
I fucking saw that.
That's like,
sucked.
What the hell? Like, you think this is gonna the merit of the film itself should be what draws people in. Nobody's going to go see
that movie. Why was that? They didn't adapt any of the games, right? That was just a separate story?
No, and not only did they not adapt any of the games, they really didn't adapt anything that was like the spirit of Final Fantasy.
My friend made me go see that movie because he really liked Final Fantasy VII. And it was like okay-ish in the theater because it was very pretty to look at.
It's gorgeous.
I've never thought about it again, really.
No, and it's weird because the Final Fantasy series, there's very few through lines. None of them are really direct sequels or continuations or even take place necessarily in the same universe or whatever. But that movie was just like, we're scientists finding ghosts. It was like,
I can't even remember.
Check out Advent Children if you want to see it. Okay. We'll get there when we be doing Final Fantasy filmography.
Oh, and
all two of them. So, yeah, I mean, Billy Crudup's not Billy Crudup. Obviously, we can't see him.
He does fine.
He does fine.
Because he's not into violence.
Mm-hmm.
He does kill quite a few people. He's not into violence. He doesn't think it solves anything. I felt like he could have solved everybody's problems.
Oh, yeah.
With his magic arm.
Oh, yeah. Because he even says, go away, samurai. I don't want to hurt you. And then he cuts off their head with an arrow.
Yeah, no problem.
I did like that scene where the first dude charging him, there's two guys coming up on horseback. One's got a big glaive or something, and the other one's got a bow and arrow. And he's like, don't fuck with me. And the first dude like shoots an arrow at him, and he just reaches out and grabs it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's in his quiver and shoots it back.
And then puts it, and goes and lops off the other guy's head. And then the guy, he turns around and I ain't fucking with you.
I was not excited to watch this movie because it's 2 hours and 13 minutes in anime. By the end of it, I was like, you know what? That was a nice experience.
Yeah.
I liked a lot of it. It's a bit too long.
Yeah.
I don't really enjoy anime that much, but it was pretty good.
I'm not a huge Miyazaki fan.
Did you see Totoro?
I did. I saw that. I saw
nice.
Howl's Moving Castle.
I don't think I've seen it.
And Spirited Away.
Unless I saw Spirited Away instead of this.
Probably.
I don't know.
So I'm not like losing my mind over. I think the animation is absolutely gorgeous.
Those action set pieces.
Yeah.
Pretty top notch.
Like, I guess, like, he even went back and altered, like, thousands of cells to make sure that they were to his specification. Basically, like,
he's still alive, right?
I believe so. Now, at the time, if you would believe it, this movie cost 2.35 billion yen.
Oh, I don't get it. It's like $2.35 billion.
Approximately $23.5 million US dollars.
Oh, sure. I think it should have cost more.
It was the most expensive anime ever made at the time. And it was also the last major animated motion picture to be filmed on plastic animation cells.
Oh.
Pretty much right after that, they started rolling that computer shit.
The computers, something about computers, you can make the cartoons in the computers.
And Roger Ebert placed Princess Mononoke 6th on his top 10 movies of 1999, right behind The Matrix.
You know what? Roger Ebert is still like the gold standard to me.
Yeah, even though he's not alive.
He's been dead for a while.
Yeah, did he have the jaw cancer?
Yeah. He lived for quite a while.
Because Rupert died first.
That's not, no, Siskel. Roper's still alive.
Roper's alive. Siskel died of something.
I think he had like prostate cancer.
Yeah, cancer. He died kind of abruptly. That was back when you didn't really know about that stuff.
Right. I think he died in the 90s. And then Ebert might have died in like 2011.
It was not too long ago because he had like the website and
he was still going strong like 2 years after having his jaw removed. I'm not sure what eventually got him. Complications from that or if the cancer came back or what.
Could be.
But man, I still go back to his reviews for any of these movies.
Yeah.
I still go to RogerEbert.com because I like the reviewers there.
Yeah, I wish that they had something similar to their old TV show still around.
That would be nice. Well,
I mean, I know they do that shit on like YouTube and all that shit now, but I don't know, something about the TV was a different time.
I think At the Movies is probably still on the Roper show. Because it was Ebert and Roper had a show.
Yeah.
And then when Ebert retired due to illness, then Roper was still doing it. I think it was called At the Movies.
It's a good movie.
It's good.
It's good looking. I liked Minnie Driver. I liked Billy Bob. I thought Billy Crudup was fine. I wish he would have done more of a natural performance.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he's playing a younger character. He's in full-on anime mode, so it kind of gets lost. Claire Danes' venture, I mean, they all sort of venture into that territory a little bit. But they're all immediately recognizable, except for Keith David. He's just Keith David.
Yeah. Gillian Anderson's the mom wolf. Right?
She's doing a more ethereal, breathy. I need my kibble.
I don't think she says it. Man, that you want skulls. Give me man skull.
Yeah. It was good. I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
No.
It's worth a watch.
I would not have my children watch it.
It's probably not the strongest Miyazaki film, but I think it's telling that it's up to a certain point, probably until Spirited Away kind of took the crown. It was probably the most the movie that lent itself most to an American adaptation, I think, because of the violence and So yeah, that's number 4.
Let me give him a chart out.
5.
Is it 36?
That's number 5, and
Princess Mononoke, number 5.
So what are we doing next week?
Next week is Monument Avenue, which I don't think I've seen.
I don't think I have either.
You can actually rent it, which is nice.
Thank God.
Because, I mean, seriously, guys, Grind is not available. You can't stream it anywhere. You can't buy it online to watch it. You can't steal it. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I had to buy it from a Goodwill online in Florida. I paid twice as much to have it shipped than the actual DVD cost. It's insane. We live in this age of streaming, but it's like so much gets lost.
Yeah, I mean, clearly nobody cares about grind.
Apparently not.
That's it's interesting. I mean, it has. You guys heard the episode, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you know how we feel. Say what you will, but
so next week, Monument Avenue.
Yep.
I think that's got an interesting cast. I'm interested in that. Remember, you can go to our Instagram at We Doing Filmographies. You can send us an email. What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
I'm at home with children all day. If I got an email, I'd be pretty excited.
If there's a name you want to see added to the hat, maybe we were not going to do.
We're probably. I mean, you know what? We would like to have you send us a name for the hat. We're not going to put it in.
No,
but it can go on our list of things of people that we might add to the hat when we finally clear out a few people.
Mm-hmm.
Because gosh, I think it's 13 names.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
That is.
You know who I was looking at today?
Mm.
James Spader's only got like 58 credits. Some of those I'm a little bit interested in. You know who I thought would really be great? Steve Buscemi.
Yeah.
He's in a fuckload of movies.
Yeah.
But I think his quality ratio is higher than a lot of people. I think a lot of movies don't suck. I don't think he necessarily did shitty movies just to keep working.
I wonder if Desperado would fit in that.
He's in it?
I mean, he's in it, but I mean, and it's early in his career, but I don't know if he's... That's what I'm thinking. Maybe it's not.
It's been 90s. It's an actual credit. Although at one point...
Well, not only is it an actual credit, in the movie his name is Steve Buscemi.
Is it really?
It's Steve, at least. Oh. Buscemi, yeah.
He's in like his 5th or 6th credit, he's like a dead pimp. I don't think we'd watch that.
Oh, wow.
He's a dead body.
Wow. What came before that?
He has actually... His first movie is him and Mark Boone Jr. playing people that are doing a play, I think. And their female co-star ends up dead. After that, he's got kind of like an early indie queer cinema movie, Parting Glances, which I've always been somewhat curious to watch.
And then he's just a dead pimp in a movie.
Yeah.
All right. Seems like...
That wants to clear people up.
Seems like the dead pimp would be the first one in there.
You would think so. Maybe it was filmed prior to the others.
That could be. That could very well be.
So, guys, in like 4 or 5 years, we'll add some new names. All right, I've been Jason.
I've been Jules. Mm-hmm. We've been doing filmographies. Good night, folks.